what do I think of Capcom? Capcom is honestly one of my favorite video game companies. They've made so many great games. They've made Mega Man, Street Fighter especially, Resident Evil, Darkstalkers, and a lot more classics like Ghosts and Goblins. So they've made some very iconic games that are considered classics now. But you see, Capcom, despite the fact they've made good games and have had quite a bit of success, at the same time, they're one of the douchiest video game companies ever, which is very strange, because you would expect a company that's made so many great titles would be great too, right? Well, that's not the case. We can first start off with Street Fighter 2. There are 5 fucking versions of Street Fighter 2. Call me crazy, but don't you think it sounds a little odd and a little stupid that there are 5 versions of a sequel to a game? Yeah, that's right. There are 4 sequels to a sequel. Street Fighter 2 The World Warrior being the first ever version of Street Fighter 2, and then Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Street Fighter 2 Super Street Fighter 2 The New Challengers, and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And I guess you can put HD Remix in there, but that's just a new redefined version of Turbo. But yeah, there are 5 versions of Street Fighter 2. And these versions aren't really even that different from each other. There are slight differences, but not a whole lot. And this pissed people off in the 90s, because why the fuck would you come out with the exact same game, only the fact that Chun-Li can now shoot a projectile, and Dhalsim can teleport, and everyone has new colors. And what's up with Capcom doing that? How come every time they would make a new version of Street Fighter 2, they would always, everyone would have, a different color scheme? Like, in Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, instead of Ken, being in the orange gi, he's in a white gi. And then, what else? I think Blanca, I think he was, blue-skinned and green-haired. What's the fucking point of changing the colors? Is that really going to make us think, oh my god, it's so new! New colors, man! No, oh my god! Now, my favorite version of Street Fighter 2 would probably be Super Street Fighter 2, The New Challengers. Turbo, the only real major thing Turbo had was the super combos, first ever Street Fighter game with super combos, and some of the punching and kick animations were different looking. They looked more updated, I guess, and Akuma was in there as a hidden boss, so yeah. And in Super Street Fighter 2, The New Challengers, there was 4 new characters. But yeah, Capcom, that's already where they fucked up by making 5 versions of Street Fighter 2. I think that's a little thing we like to call milking something. If Street Fighter 2 was good, I guess Capcom just got way too greedy in their fucking skulls and decided, oh my god, let's keep making new versions of this game and everybody will play it. Fucking stupid. So Capcom now. Yeah. 1 word. 3 letters. DLC. Capcom is notorious for having DLC mental retardation. And what I mean is, every time Capcom makes a game, they always make all this bullshit DLC that shouldn't even be DLC, because it's just why should I fucking pay for this? Really, Capcom? For example, Super Street Fighter, or Street Fighter 4 in general, you can get alternate costumes on the game, but you gotta fucking buy them. Why can't I just unlock them? Like in the Mortal Kombat games. Why can't I just, unlock them? By doing something or buying them with, virtual points in the game. I have to pay real money to buy alternate costumes. And by the way, they all look like shit. There's only like a couple alternate costumes that actually look good. All of them, most of the time, they suck. So yeah, that's bullshit. And, of course, Capcom is... I don't really know if they're milking off of Street Fighter 4 success or not, but there's Street Fighter 4. Okay. Super Street Fighter 4, which is a completely new game. It's got a whole bunch of new characters, updated stuff. Makes sense. Alright, cool. Then Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. And they actually have the balls to sell this as a completely separate disc. Or if you have Super Street Fighter 4, you can just download it. But what the fuck? Really? And they did the same thing with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. They came out with Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Fate of New Worlds. Then, not too long after, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And what's the difference? Just a few new fucking characters and a little tweaking and a little update. And they're going to sell it as a completely new game for $60 when it first came out. That is just such bullshit. Why does Capcom do this? Do they think we're idiots? I mean, what the hell? If I bought one of their games and they made a completely new version of it later and all it had was like one new guy and one new mode, who the fuck's actually going to pay another $60 to buy that shit? That is retarded. And Capcom thinks they're cool. They think they're getting away with this by, I know on Street Fighter 4 you can buy Arcade Edition if you've already got Super Street Fighter 4. Just Super Street Fighter 4, you can get Arcade Edition and download it as DLC. That doesn't make up for shit, Capcom. The fact that you're actually trying to make a completely new disc and sell it on the market, that just pisses me off. And the only difference between Arcade Edition is, again, 4 new characters, Evil Ryu, Oni, Yun, and Yang. Just 4 new people, and, again, some more tweaking, and, you can buy it as a completely new disc for $60. Fuck that shit. Another thing that pisses me off, another thing that they did to piss me off involving DLC was, Azura's Wrath. That was a badass game. But apparently there was a true ending to the game. So if you beat 5 or more levels with an S level, or 5 or more episodes with an S level, you would get to see the true ending. So I did that. Capcom, the game, gives us a little 30-second preview, and as soon as it's over, you're like, What? I gotta see this! How's this gonna end? Dude! And guess what? You gotta pay $20 fucking dollars to buy the real ending, which is another 3 episodes. Are you fucking kidding me? You tell me that if I beat 5 or more episodes with an S rank, I will see the true ending, and then you give me, you tease me, you give me a 30-second intro, a little 30-second like preview, and then I go to extras on Xbox Live Marketplace and I see true ending, 1,200, 1,600 Microsoft points. That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. What? And I really want to see that ending too, but I still haven't bought it. Why? Because I shouldn't have to pay $20. $20. Another $20 to see the ending, the real ending to a fucking video game. And that, people, is bullshit. Something else Capcom does with DLC that they just don't do right. On Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online Edition, they're selling more colors. If you play Street Fighter, if you push like more buttons, like depending on what button you push on the controller or the arcade stick, your character will have a different color palette. Well, Capcom's selling alternate color palettes on the marketplace or PlayStation Network, whatever you play, and They look so fucking hideous. It's just a vomiting mess of colors. Like, it's like Rainbow Man just came out of nowhere and went and threw up colors all over the Street Fighter 3 Third Strike cast, and they're all just like, and they're actually going to expect you to pay Microsoft points for this shit. Looks like a fucking Crayola disaster. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. This has probably been the biggest fuck up by Capcom in a while. Street Fighter Cross Tekken, I think this was the Xbox 360 version. Don't know, can't remember. There were characters, like, additional characters on the disc. Like, they were there. But Capcom disc locked them. Meaning, you couldn't access them unless you paid more fucking money. Oh my god. Is money all Capcom fucking thinks about? Just, I need more money. Give me your money. You want to play this game? You want to get everyone? Well, give me your fucking money. I can't remember how many additional characters. I think it was 12. Don't know. It was a lot, though. A pretty decent amount that was already on the disc. But Capcom was going to make you pay for them? It's fucking terrible. That is just terrible. If I were to make a video game and I had all these characters on it and I dislocked some of them and forced people to pay another, I think, $20 or $15 or something, like a whole bunch of fucking money, I couldn't live with myself. That is cheating. That is so greedy. I don't even know how fucking far your greed level has to go to make people pay another $15, $20 just for an extra characters that are already on the fucking disc, but they're being locked away by your greedy ass grubbing greasy hands like, more money please. That is bullshit. So yeah, Capcom, no doubt, they've made amazing games. Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Darkstalkers 3, Darkstalkers 2, Night Warriors, Street Fighter Alpha. Yeah, they just made a lot of really good games. But their business practices suck. No, they don't suck. They're fucking awful. God awful. It's unbelievable how much controversy and anger Capcom has caused gamers all these years. I mean, really. And what's sad, and what's really stupid, is this has been going on since Street Fighter 2, when they made 5 fucking versions of it. And, if I remember correctly, I think Capcom was founded in 1989, maybe, I don't know, somewhere in the 80s. So yeah, not long after they started as a company, they were already doing bullshit practices like this. I mean, what the fuck? That isn't right. So yeah, Capcom, get your shit together. You probably never will. I mean, honestly. And, you know, focus on more of your other games. A lot of people bitch about this too, like Darkstalkers. That's a really good fighting game series. It needs more attention, and it needs another game. Hopefully it will. With the release of Darkstalkers Resurrection, hopefully it gets enough sales. I don't know if it can, though, because Darkstalkers is not as popular as Street Fighter and other fighting game franchises. So I really fucking hope they can make a Darkstalkers 4 or something. I mean, Capcom's really got to just, you know, I think they would make a lot more money and get a lot more fans if they were able to focus on their other games, too. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Capcom. Peace.